Yan Kai is lying on the floor, struggling to breathe. She gasps for air and weakly admits that she cannot go on any longer. Her energy is nearly gone, and she feels as if she is about to fade away. Yang Su, equally exhausted, agrees and barely manages to speak. Chen Bai remains seated calmly on the bed, completely unaffected. He looks at them and points out the obvious gap in strength between them. He reminds them that he did not even put up any resistance during their challenge. Yan Qi, still catching her breath, suddenly asks him a question. She wants to know if there is someone he likes. She also wonders if he always has to be cautious when dealing with others. Chen Bai responds without hesitation. He explains that his body is naturally strong, but he has full control over his strength. He then picks up the skill book in his hand and casually throws it toward the sisters. He acknowledges their effort and tells them they deserve a reward. Yan Kitty tries to catch the book, but it slips right through her hands and falls to the floor. Chen Bai gives her a strange look, puzzled by what just happened. Still lying on her stomach, Yan Qi sighs in defeat. She suggests that they should wait until they have recovered before trying to learn the skill. There is no rush since the book is not going anywhere. Chen Bai reassures them that they can learn it whenever they want. It does not matter to him. He then mentions that he has his own matters to take care of now. Yang Sui looks at him with concern. She reminds him that he promised to take them to River City. She wonders if he is leaving already. Chen Bai explains that something more important has come up. He assures them that he will take them with him once he returns. After saying this, he extends his hand and a red scroll appears in his palm. Yang Su nods in understanding. She accepts his decision and says that they will wait for his return. Chen Bai holds the Demon Hunter Promotion Task Scroll S in his hand. He knows that he has already reached the limits of his current strength. The time has come to obtain the SSS-level promotion scroll from the Abyss. He reflects on his situation. If he does not complete Lito's task, he will remain stuck at level 10 forever. There is no way forward unless he takes this step. A notification suddenly appears before him, providing information about the Demon Hunter Promotion Task Scroll S. This special and rare item can only be obtained when the first pureblood demon species creature is defeated. Completing the task will transform the scroll into an official Demon Hunter Promotion Scroll. The system gives him a choice, yes or no. Chen Bai thinks back to when he first obtained this scroll. At that time, he had no plans to pursue the SSS-level promotion scroll. The challenge is known to be so difficult that even the gods have failed to pass it. But now, with no other leads on another SSS scroll, he has no choice but to take the risk. He makes his decision and selects yes. The very next moment, his surroundings shift, and he finds himself in the first layer of the Abyss. The entire landscape resembles a vision of hell, with a red terrain, dry mountains, and countless red demons filling the land. One of the demons notices him and immediately reacts with shock. It turns to the others, unable to believe what it is seeing. More demons join in, shouting in disbelief. A human has entered the Abyss. A fierce voice rises from the crowd. One of the demons commands the others to devour him. Chen Bai remains calm. He recalls how, in his previous life after becoming a demon hunter, he often ventured into the Abyss. Standing here now, the place strangely feels like home. 3 demons rush at him, ready to attack. Before they can reach him, all 3 swords of Chen Bai materialize and pierce each one of them in mid-air, ending them instantly. Chen Bai adjusts his gloves as a system notification appears. The task progress updates showing that he has defeated 3 fallen demons out of 100. He checks the task requirements in the system. The details confirm that using the scroll transports him to the first layer of the Abyss. To complete the task and leave, he must eliminate 100 inferior demons and 100 fallen demons. He considers his next move. Completing the task will force him out of the Abyss, which is not what he wants. His real goal lies deeper, the trial at the Abyss well. He decides to hold back and avoid finishing the task too quickly. A day passes. The demons continue to follow him relentlessly. He moves swiftly through the Abyss, ignoring them. He finds this situation frustrating. The task remains unfinished because the first layer of the Abyss is filled with far too many fallen demons and inferior demons. Their endless numbers make it difficult to clear them out. Worse yet, they are mindless creatures, doing nothing but chasing him without end. Whenever he loses one group, another quickly gathers the moment he slows down. His attention shifts to a lava-filled mountain in the distance. He instantly realizes what has happened. The Abyss well has erupted. Bad luck strikes at the worst time. Although the eruption does not affect the trial itself, it floods the Abyss with powerful energy. This surge strengthens every demon-blooded creature, making them even more dangerous. The eruption sends large chunks of stone flying in all directions. Chen Bai moves swiftly to evade them while also avoiding the demons still chasing him. He recalls that this eruption will also release countless demon blood eggs, leading to the birth of many new demon creatures. The number of enemies in the abyss will only grow from here. His eyes narrow as he looks toward the sky. Tens of thousands of demons descend from above, pouring into the battlefield. He cannot afford to stop now. If he slows down, he will be completely surrounded. A new concern arises. If he accidentally completes the task while fighting his way out, he will be immediately sent out of the abyss. That would ruin his entire plan. He has no choice but to fight carefully and avoid finishing the mission too soon. A sword suddenly flies toward Chen Bai, but he dodges it effortlessly without breaking his focus. A demon appears in the distance and lands on the sword, his sharp eyes locking onto him. With clear excitement in his voice, the demon declares in demon language that he has found himself a fine meal. This is Fergus, a level 16 demon warrior. Fergus addresses Chen Bai arrogantly, demanding that he kneel down and show gratitude. He claims that Chen Bai should feel honored, as he is about to serve as his next meal. Chen Bai studies Fergus carefully. A pure-blooded demon warrior is not something commonly seen in the first layer of the abyss. He immediately suspects that Fergus has come from a deeper level and asks him about it in demon language. Fergus confirms it with pride. He then expresses surprise that Chen Bai, who has done nothing but run away, knows so much about demons and can even speak their language. However, he dismisses this knowledge as meaningless, stating that food does not need to understand its master. Chen Bai remains calm and questions Fergus' claim that he is merely running away. He points out that only the low-intelligence, inferior demons and fallen demons are chasing him, hinting that there is a reason behind it. Fergus does not know the answer but offers to let Chen Bai explain before he dies. He cruelly adds that, out of mercy, he will start by eating his head first. Without hesitation, Fergus launches an attack, rushing straight toward Chen Bai. Chen Bai, unfazed, gives his response through action. In an instant, he moves with speed beyond what the demon can track. Multiple swords appear and slice through Fergus mid-air, cutting him down before he can even react. Fergus screams in disbelief. His voice trembles as he struggles to accept what's happened. It should have been impossible. Chen Bai, standing unbothered, delivers his final words in demon language. He states the reason why only inferior demons have been chasing him, because he has already eliminated all other species. His gaze shifts across the battlefield. Around him, more demons begin to hatch from demon blood eggs scattered across the abyss. The situation grows more dangerous by the second. He quickly assesses the growing numbers and makes his decision. If he does not leave soon, he will be completely surrounded. There is no time to waste. 6 days later, Chen Bai finally stands before the abyssal well. He looks at the dark, ominous pit and acknowledges the long journey it took to get here. The destination had seemed close from a distance, but reaching it was much harder than expected. His thoughts drift to his past life. When he first became a demon hunter, this was the place where he sought refuge. Most of the demons on the first layer of the abyss fear this place and do not dare to come near. He decides to take a short rest before continuing the challenge. Leaning against the mountain, he opens his system screen to check his inventory. He reviews his plan. Over the past few days, he has gathered a large number of demon bloodline potions. He intends to feed them to the mask, allowing it to absorb and refine their essence. His bag and secret storage are completely full of these potions. He wonders what level of bloodline essence will be synthesized from the tens of thousands of B and D grade potions he has collected. Before he can proceed, another presence emerges nearby. The deep voice speaks, confirming that a human has really made it to the abyssal well. The speaker steps forward, revealing himself to be a Kuo-Tao fish demon, a submariner, Dur 17, level 18. His shark-like face is sharp and menacing. The fish demon finds the situation amusing. Speaking in demon language, he explains that he received a report from one of his servants. According to the report, a human was heading toward the abyssal well. Not only that, but this same human had wiped out all other types of demons, leaving only inferior demons and fallen demons untouched. His eyes lock onto Chen Bai, and he confirms what he already suspects. The human in question is standing right in front of him. Chen Bai observes the fish demon carefully. The Kuo-Tao fish demon appearing in the first layer of the abyss is unusual. This type of creature does not belong here. He questions the demon in demon language, showing no concern. He wonders if demons from deeper levels enjoy wandering around the upper layers whenever the abyssal well erupts. The fish demon responds without hesitation. He declares himself a demon prince and reveals that he has come here for one reason, to kill Chen Bai. Without wasting another moment, the demon prince opens his powerful jaws and lunges forward with full force. His voice roars through the abyss as he condemns the idea of a mere human running wild in demon territory. His attack is fast and aggressive, and it looks like he is aiming to end the fight immediately. The fish demon swings his trident and a surge of water energy bursts from his blade. The weapon carries water-based abilities, making each strike flow like a powerful tide. He attacks with full force, aiming to overpower Chen Bai. Chen Bai activates his Hellfire armor just as the trident makes contact. A loud bang echoes through the air, but he remains completely untouched. He speaks in demonic language, questioning the demon's title as a demon prince. His curiosity grows as he asks which layer's lord the demon is a descendant of. The fish demon responds without hesitation, revealing that his royal father is the lord of the 17th layer. Without giving Chen Bai a chance to react, the demon prince swings his trident again, refusing to slow down. His anger erupts as he mocks Chen Bai, calling him worthless for relying on inferior Hellfire armor. He demands to know if fear has already consumed him. Chen Bai dodges effortlessly, showing no sign of struggle. His expression remains calm as he decides to put an end to the demon's arrogance. Activating muscle reinforcement, he moves in an instant. His hand grips the demon's head, and with overwhelming strength, he slams him into the ground. The impact shakes the earth beneath them. Without wasting time, 3 swords materialize behind Chen Bai, summoned in an instant. Their sharp edges gleam, filled with a deadly aura. He steps back slightly and orders the fish demon to stand up, giving him a chance to face what comes next. Chen Bai stands over the fallen fish demon. He states that his mask had been ready to consume something valuable, but the demon prince's sudden appearance interrupted the process. The item in his inventory is not pleased. Without hesitation, the 3 swords hovering behind him move on their own. They strike the fish demon repeatedly, piercing through its flesh over and over again. The demon prince has no way to resist. Chen Bai watches the scene and declares that, as an apology for the interruption, the fish demon's bloodline will serve as the mask's appetizer. The mask in his possession suddenly comes to life. His mouth opens and a clattering sound echoes from within. Chen Bai continues speaking, explaining that his backpack and inventory are overflowing with bloodline potions, numbering in the tens of thousands. The clattering noise continues as the mask feeds, absorbing the demon's essence. His curiosity grows. He wonders what level of essence will be synthesized from this massive collection of potions. A notification suddenly appears, informing him that he has obtained a new weapon, Blackwater Trident C-Class. It is a long-handled weapon that enhances strength and agility, increasing both attributes by plus 25. The weapon possesses a unique ability called Blackwater Depths, which allows the wielder to breathe underwater and grants dark vision. Additionally, it comes with the Tidal Strike skill, which releases a powerful attack boosted by water currents. The equipment requirements to use the Blackwater Trident are a strength stat of 60 and a minimum level of 15. Chen Bai studies the details of the weapon and finds the underwater breathing ability particularly interesting. It is not something he needs right now, but it could be useful later. Turning his gaze toward the abyssal well, he takes a deep breath. With all obstacles cleared, nothing stands in his way anymore. The time has come to begin the next challenge. Chen Bai climbs to the top and steps onto the edge of the abyssal well. His eyes fixate on the endless darkness below. He speaks, knowing that as he stares into the abyss, he will soon receive the expected prompt. Suddenly, dark purple circular waves of light begin to spread from the depths of the abyssal well. A deep, echoing voice resonates through the air, repeating a warning. When someone stares into the abyss stares back. Chen Bai sharpens his focus, sensing something unusual. He recognizes the moment and confirms that it has arrived. A notification appears in front of him, stating that it saw you, a sentient being. A wave of unease grips his chest, a pressure unlike anything before. He reflects on the fear creeping into his heart. This feeling is unavoidable when facing the gaze of the abyss. His instincts scream at him to step back, but he knows that retreat is not an option. If he moves away now, it will mean instant rejection, permanent failure with no chance to try again. Another notification appears, analyzing him further. It confirms that its soldier level is 10. His thoughts drift back to his previous life. Many level 10 geniuses, even disciples of legendary powerhouses, reach this point only to fail. Some among them, rare prodigies who managed to withstand the gaze, never made it out alive. More notifications appear, exposing his current state. It saw that you have not advanced your class yet. It saw that you have no bloodline. It saw that you possess no equipment above grade S. It saw that you lack temporary and powerful external boosts. It saw that everything you own was earned by your own hands. It saw that your strength belongs to you alone. It saw that you have enough ability to control yourself. It saw that you do not know what you will face. It saw your name. It saw your fear and hatred. The abyss continues its silent observation, locking onto him with an oppressive force. Something presses down on him, weighing on his entire body. A deep exhaustion sets in, as if an invisible force is crushing his very existence. A new notification appears before Chen Bai. confirming that he meets the requirements. The system announces that the passage to the Abyss trial will now open for him. If he successfully completes the trial, he will receive the SSS grade Abyss Overlord class advancement scroll. The scroll will be bound to him as the challenger, ensuring that no one else can claim it. Chen Bai remains firm, showing no hesitation. He acknowledges the challenge and prepares himself for what lies ahead. Another notification appears, instructing him to jump into the Abyssal well to begin the trial. It warns that retreating will be considered permanent abandonment, meaning there will be no second chance if he turns back now. Without wasting any more time, he commits to the decision. He tells himself that there is no turning back and then leaps into the abyss. And just as he falls, a new notification outlines the conditions of the trial. You must defeat the 10th level projection avatars of each demon lord on every abyss layer under specific conditions. For each completed layer, he will receive a rest period ranging from 1 minute to 1 hour before the next challenge begins. If a layer does not currently have a demon lord, the projection of the previous lord from that layer will be summoned instead. His status will be fully restored before each battle. All items and skills will have their cooldowns reset. All equipment will be repaired. He continues falling deeper into the abyssal well, and while he does, he processes the information. The full reset on cooldowns is particularly significant. Even items with extremely long cooldowns, such as the Time Hourglass, which requires over 70 years to recharge, will be ready for use again. The endless descent continues, pulling him further into the unknown depths of the Abyss trial. Just as Chen Bai is about to hit the pit, a sudden notification appears, flashing with urgency. An error message fills his vision, stating that the trial challenger cannot be restored to their peak state. His mind sharpens, sensing something is wrong. He immediately reacts, hoping that no unexpected complications arise from this. A new notification follows, revealing that his return to the past skill has activated. This ability allows him to return to any point in the past, but at the cost of erasing everything gained in the vanished timeline. The system confirms that the remaining cooldown time is still locked at 72 years, 6 months, and 7 days. Unlike other abilities, this skill cannot have its cooldown reduced by any external effects, whether through skills or equipment. Chen Bai quickly realizes what has happened. The Time Hourglass has appeared automatically, unaffected by the Abyss reset mechanics. It seems that even the Abyss cannot override the restrictions placed on this unique ability. His thoughts race as he considers his options. He must decide quickly what his next move should be. Before he can react, more notifications begin flooding the system, each one flashing the same error message repeatedly. Something is clearly wrong with the process. Just before he lands, another notification appears. This time, the return to the past skill activates again, but with a crucial change. The system now states that he can still return to any point in the past, but only after entering the Abyss well. Additionally, the cooldown restriction has been removed entirely. At that moment, the trial challenger's status is fully restored, and the trial officially begins. Chen Bai finally lands with a heavy thud, steadying himself. A quick scan of his status confirms that everything is back to normal. With relief, he acknowledges that the cooldown of the Time Hourglass skill has completely disappeared. Now, with his abilities fully restored and no lingering issues, clearing the Abyss trial no longer seems like a challenge. The trial begins, and within no time, a level 10 inferior demon lord named Balkek appears in front of Chen Bai. The demon warrior carries a sword on his back ready to fight. A notification states that there are no special conditions for this layer. Chen Bai looks at the demon with complete indifference. He recognizes Balkek as nothing more than an inferior demon, posing no real threat to him. Before Balkek can even make a move, Chen Bai dashes forward at incredible speed. With a single slash, she cuts the demon cleanly in half, ending the fight in an instant. A notification appears, confirming Layer 1 is cleared and asking him to select his rest time. Without wasting time, he advances to the next layer. The second demon lord falls just as quickly. Another notification appears, confirming Layer 2 is cleared and again prompting for a rest time. Chen Bai continues moving layer by layer, eliminating each demon lord effortlessly. Notifications keep popping up with every layer he clears. Upon reaching layer 66, he finally faces a greater challenge. Standing before him is the Blood Kai clan demon lord, demon sword servant Odu, also at level 10. Unlike the previous opponents, Odu immediately lunges forward, filled with rage. He curses Chen Bai, declaring that his journey ends here. A notification appears, revealing the special condition for this layer. Only weak point attacks are effective. Strikes to other parts will be ineffective. Chen Bai quickly assesses the situation. This restriction makes the battle far more difficult than before. He reflects on his current state. Since the 50th layer, his attribute advantage has started to diminish. The difference in raw power is no longer enough to dominate his enemies. He considers the experience gap between him and the demon lord. While he has battle skills from 2 lifetimes, Odu has spent his entire existence fighting. With such a disadvantage and layer restrictions, this battle will not be won easily. The fight begins and the two engage in fierce combat. They exchange attacks, each one testing the other's limits. At a crucial moment, Chen Bai manages to stab Odu in the neck, targeting a weak point. However, Odu retaliates, landing a deep wound on Chen Bai's shoulder. Chen Bai quickly realizes the problem. With no clear advantage in combat skills or attributes, he is also forced to identify weak points mid-battle. This means he has only one option: to trade injury for injury and fight through sheer tactical precision. The battle between Chen Bai and Odu continues, both fighters refusing to back down. Chen Bai skillfully avoids Odu's attacks, but his evasive maneuvers only fuel the demon's rage. Odu, now furious, launches a reckless and powerful assault. In a final act of aggression, he throws his sword directly at Chen Bai, shouting with absolute confidence. This time, Chen Bai fails to dodge. The sword pierces through his stomach, causing him to collapse onto the ground. Odu slowly approaches, his expression filled with triumph. He acknowledges Chen Bai's strength and resilience, but mocks him for his foolishness. With complete certainty in his victory, Odu grips his sword and pulls it out of Chen Bai's body. He declares that the rules of the Great Abyss bless him, making him impossible to defeat. Believing the fight is over, Odu turns away and begins to walk away. However, Chen Bai is not finished. A notification appears, confirming that his save status is being read. At that moment, Chen Bai's eyes snap open, and he immediately calls out to Odu, his voice cutting through the silence. Odu turns back in shock, unable to believe what he is seeing. Chen Bai is still alive. Before the demon can react, Chen Bai moves at an unimaginable speed, faster than Odu can process. In an instant, he slashes through Odu's waist, delivering a decisive blow. Odu's body trembles as he lets out a final shocked cry. His form begins to dissipate, unable to comprehend what just happened. A notification appears, confirming that Layer 66 has been cleared. The system prompts Chen Bai to select his recovery time before moving forward. Chen Bai stands over the fading body of Odu and declares that the true fool was Odu himself. The demon had made the fatal mistake of neither dodging nor defending when his weak points were safe. On top of that, he had arrogantly let his guard down, assuming victory before the battle was truly over. Because of that stupidity, Chen Bai was able to clear the level with ease. With no reason to linger, he moves forward, continuing his rapid progress through the abyss floors. Soon he arrives at the 100th floor. Standing before him is fallen swordmaster Gilbert, level 10. A notification states that there are no special conditions for this battle. Chen Bai is surprised. The weakest class of fallen demons being the final challenge seems too easy. Even more unusual is the complete lack of any restrictions. However, Gilbert is nowhere to be seen. The arena remains empty, and his opponent does not appear. Chen Bai quickly senses something is wrong. He questions why Gilbert hasn't shown himself yet. If the final floor does not impose a direct combat challenge, then the real difficulty must be elsewhere. His mind begins to analyze the situation. The Abyss is a complex place filled with diverse races, personalities, and strengths. Each floor lord does not necessarily hold their position because of sheer strength alone. There could be other factors at play: alliances, intelligence, or hidden advantages. It is not impossible for a weak fallen demon to rise to power under the right circumstances. It now seems that the true challenge of this floor is finding Gilbert. This is not a straightforward battle, it is a game of hide and seek. Before he can process further, a shadow moves silently behind him. Gilbert has already found his opportunity. Without warning, the fallen swordmaster strikes with absolute precision. His blade slices through Chen Bai's neck in an instant. Chen Bai has no time to react. He barely begins to turn before his vision goes dark. He is dead. An instant later, he wakes up back at Abyss level 1. The trial has reset, throwing him back to the very beginning. He remains still, his breath heavy and uneven. Moments ago, he was dead. Sweat drips from his forehead as the reality of the situation sinks in. He reflects on what just happened. He was killed so quickly that he didn't even have the chance to respond. For the first time in the trial, he realizes something terrifying. He was not just defeated once, he was killed instantly, twice in a row. Chen Bai processes what just happened. The moment he was beheaded for the first time, he had immediately accessed his save status, hoping to undo the fatal blow. Yet, even after resetting, he was killed again instantly, without any chance to react. Before he can fully recover from his shock, the first floor inferior demon lord, Balkek, appears once more. Without hesitation, Balkek lunges forward, launching an attack against him. Chen Bai is still huffing, his mind clouded from his previous death. Despite being in a trance, his reflexes take over just in time. He swiftly grabs Balkic by the neck and slams him into the ground with overwhelming force. His breathing remains uneven as he tries to gather his thoughts. He reflects on the nature of his death on the 100th floor. If he had not activated Return to the Past at the last moment using his lingering consciousness, he would have truly died permanently. Realizing that he needs answers, he questions Balkic, demanding information about the fallen demon on the 100th floor. He asks if Balkic knows the current floor lord of the final trial stage. Still pinned to the ground, Balkic refuses to answer. Even in his weakened state, he remains defiant. His voice is filled with spite, making it clear that even if he knew the answer, he would never reveal it. Within moments, Balkic succumbs to his injuries, letting out a final cough before his body disappears. A notification appears, confirming that Layer 1 has been cleared and prompting Chen Bai to select his recovery time. Chen Bai takes a moment to analyze the situation. The demons in the Abyss trial are merely projections, and they are fully aware of this fact. Since they know they are not truly alive, they feel no fear of death and endure pain without hesitation. This realization forces him to rethink his approach. If he wants to gather intelligence about the 100th floor, he will need to change his strategy. Charging forward blindly will only lead to another instant death. He must find a way to uncover the truth before facing Gilbert again. Later, at the Abyss 72nd floor in the midst of the burning grasslands, Chen Bai stands over the floor's demon lord, who lies defeated on the ground with a sword piercing his body. Chen Bai takes this opportunity to question the demon, finding it unusual that a fallen demon, the weakest of demon races, has managed to rise to the rank of floor lord. Their base attributes are even inferior to humans, making such a feat seem improbable. The demon lord, still struggling, refuses to accept defeat. His voice is filled with defiance as he warns Chen Bai that his arrogance will cost him. No matter how strong he thinks he is, he will eventually fall to the hands of a fallen demon. Chen Bai presses further, doubting the possibility of a fallen demon lord existing in the deeper abyss layers. He demands to know the truth about the 100th floor. The demon lord finally gives in and confirms what Chen Bai suspected. Gilbert, the lord of the 100th floor, is no ordinary opponent. Unlike other fallen demons, Gilbert is a legendary figure, one who has mastered the Shadow Swordmaster class despite the limitations of his inferior bloodline. His power is so great that his Shadow Sword has even killed a demon duke. The demon lord speaks with certainty Chen Bai will not survive against Gilbert. Chen Bai, now satisfied with the information, wastes no time. Without hesitation, he steps forward, lifting his left foot, and smashes the demon's head into the ground, ending him instantly. A notification appears, confirming that the 72nd floor has been cleared. The system prompts him to select his recovery time before advancing further. Chen Bai once again arrives at the Abyss, 100th floor, standing in the same place where he previously met his end. His mind quickly analyzes the Shadow Swordmaster's abilities. In addition to having a one-hit kill technique, this class is capable of using shadows to launch unpredictable and deceptive sword attacks. He recalls that the Shadow Swordmaster is a third advancement class of the Night Assassin, an S-tier combat specialization. The power behind it is undeniable. However, despite having no direct advantage against a Shadow Swordmaster, Chen Bai knows that his own attributes surpass those of a fallen demon. This gives him a fighting chance. As he moves carefully, he begins formulating a strategy. To counter Gilbert's attacks, he reminds himself to always stay cautious of his own shadow, avoid large, shadowed areas, and keep moving. A new idea crosses his mind. While running, he considers spreading a virus. If Gilbert patiently waits for an opening, he will eventually try to exploit a weakness. The virus could serve as an unexpected weapon, something that might be able to infect him. Time passes, and Chen Bai starts feeling exhausted. The constant vigilance required to stay on guard against Gilbert is mentally and physically draining. He realizes that if he does not recover his energy soon, his focus will slip. His only choice is to access his saved status to restore himself. Before he can act, a sudden bright light flashes in front of him. The intensity is unexpected, making him question if this is one of Gilbert's tricks. A sense of danger rises in his chest. Something feels wrong. In an instant, a sword flies straight toward him, but he reacts just in time, dodging the attack. Immediately after, Gilbert emerges from the shadows, launching a full-force strike, meant to end the fight in a single blow. This time, however, Chen Bai is prepared. He is extra cautious, fully aware of Gilbert's tactics. As the blade swings toward him, he moves swiftly, raising his weapon and deflecting the powerful attack. For the first time, he successfully blocks the strike of Gilbert. The battle is no longer one-sided. Gilbert suddenly halts his attack. His stance relaxes, and he acknowledges Chen Bai's victory. He instructs him to sheath his blade, signaling that their battle has reached its end. Gilbert then reveals the true reason for his defeat. The trial's restrictions have prevented him from unleashing his full power, placing limitations on his abilities. However, even if he had been at full strength, it would not have mattered. Chen Bai's virus has already infected him. He explains that the last attack he just delivered was the final strike at his maximum strength. With his body weakening, he can no longer continue. Chen Bai is momentarily stunned. The battle had seemed far from over, yet Gilbert himself declares the fight is finished. Still uncertain, he questions the words of Gilbert, trying to confirm if this is truly the end. Gilbert responds with confidence. He acknowledges his caution, understanding why he hesitates to accept victory so easily. He then offers him a future challenge. If Chen Bai ever clears the full Abyss trial, he is welcome to return and face him again on the 100th floor under real battle conditions. However, Gilbert makes one thing clear. With Chen Bai's current strength, he is far from capable of surviving the true depths of the Abyss. Despite this, he looks forward to the day they meet again, expecting him to grow much stronger. His form begins to fade and his body dissolves into the air, leaving nothing behind. A notification immediately appears, confirming that the 100th floor has been cleared. The system prompts Chen Bai to select his recovery time. Chen Bai takes a deep breath, reflecting on Gilbert's words. He recognizes the difference in their strength, but does not let it discourage him. Instead, he sees it as a goal to surpass. His eyes remain focused as he accepts the challenge. Next time they meet, he will be ready. When that moment comes, he will not rely on tricks. He will face Gilbert's swordsmanship head-on and prove his strength. At the 200th floor of the Abyss, Chen Bai steps into a magnificent palace filled with an elegant yet eerie presence. He calls out, addressing the lord of the 200th floor, expecting to begin the trial battle. Seated calmly on a luxurious sofa is fallen angel Lord Elmia, a six-winged fallen angel at level 10. A notification appears, confirming that there are no special conditions for this floor. Chen Bai looks around and comments on the state of the palace, questioning why cleaning it up seems so troublesome. Elmia responds with an unexpected answer. She admits that she had originally intended to let him proceed immediately without a fight. However, curiosity got the better of her. Rising gracefully from her seat, she walks toward a dining table surrounded by sofas. She sits comfortably, exuding an air of casual authority, and invites Chen Bai to join her. Chen Bai approaches, his expression showing caution and curiosity. He wonders what exactly Elmia is interested in. She wastes no time and asks the question on her mind. How did someone with his level of strength manage to reach the 200th floor? She acknowledges that Gilbert, though a skilled fighter, is limited in his thinking, relying too much on practice and sneak attacks. Even if Chen Bai managed to defeat him, the challenges ahead will be much more difficult. Many opponents in the later floors will be far more complex and harder to handle. Chen Bai listens but does not reveal anything. As he reaches the dining table, he places his hand on one of the chairs and responds with confidence. Having wins is his greatest secret, and he cannot share that information with Lady Elmia. Elmia remains relaxed and makes it clear that she is not interested in uncovering his background. She simply feels bored after spending the day lying around. She then makes an offer if he sits down for a drink, chats with her about how he managed to make it this far. She will let him pass without a fight. Chen Bai reaches for the flask, pouring red wine into a glass while considering her words. He then asks her what exactly she wants to know. Elmia pauses for a moment, then brings up a specific opponent. She refers to the lord of the 105th floor, a slime monster she clearly finds disgusting. Chen Bai recalls the creature in question, flesh and blood aggregation Cerubus, the level 10 demon lord of the Abyss 105th floor. His mind drifts back to the swamp-like battlefield where the fight took place. Cerubus was not a normal opponent. His form resembled a mass of writhing meat, a pool of living flesh that spread across the ground like a sticky, pulsating swamp. Touching it meant certain death, as anything that made contact was immediately swallowed and dissolved. Chen Bai himself barely survived the encounter. The moment he touched Cerubus, the creature devoured half of his body in an instant. Elmia listens with intrigue before asking the most important question. How did he manage to win? She raises her glass, proposing a toast. Chen Bai answers without hesitation. If Cerubus enjoyed devouring flesh, then the only solution was to feed him. However, the process was brutal. His own body was not easy to digest, so he force-fed the monster hundreds of his own severed arms. Eventually, Cerubus succumbed to severe food poisoning. Unable to process what he had consumed, the once fearsome flesh aggregation was reduced to nothing more than a puddle of rotting sludge. Elmia smiles at the unexpected strategy, admitting that she did not expect him to deal with Cerubus so effortlessly. Chen Bai, however, clarifies that it was far from easy. The pain of repeatedly tearing off his own arms was excruciating. The battle may have seemed simple, but the sacrifice required was beyond what most could endure. Elmia, still enjoying the conversation, brings up another name, Fingo, the 136th floor demon lord. She refers to him as a smelly old creature, questioning why he ever bothered leaving the sea in the first place. Chen Bai immediately recalls the battle and admits that his victory was only possible because of a good piece of equipment that was gifted to him by Fingo's own grandson. Hearing this, Elmia laughs, clearly amused by how Chen Bai took advantage of the situation. Her curiosity does not stop there. She then mentions another opponent, the girl from the 153rd floor, pointing out that unlike Fingo, she had no place to hide. Chen Bai's mind shifts back to the 153rd floor where he faced Hartley, the barrel-flaying spirit who ruled over the mountainside lava pool. He acknowledges that she was truly strong. During their battle, she had killed him 15 times in a row. Her extreme body temperature rendered his virus abilities useless, making it impossible to infect her. The lava-based form of her body made direct physical attacks ineffective. Even when she sustained injuries, she would simply retreat into the lava pool to recover instantly. The fight dragged on for 5 full days, with both of them continuously battling until the lava pool overflowed completely. Eventually, she became exhausted and her relentless aggression faded. Out of all the opponents he had faced across 200 floors, Hartley was without a doubt the toughest. Elmia listens with interest but then reminds Chen Bai that if he is talking about difficult opponents, the 186th floor demon lord is just as bad. At the mere mention of that name, Chen Bai quickly refuses to continue. He insists that during such a pleasant conversation, there is no reason to bring up that memory. His thoughts briefly return to the 186th floor, where he encountered Amanda, the filthy queen, inside her massive, rotting pit. Unlike Hartley, whose strength was formidable, Amanda was simply disgusting. Among all the beings in the abyss, no one was filthier than her. She lived comfortably inside a giant pit filled with rotting corpses and excrement, thriving in the putrid stench. Chen Bai tried his best to erase the memory of that nightmarish floor, but now the mere mention of her name brings it all back. He sighs and sets his wine glass down, saying he cannot even now drink this wine. Elmia acknowledges that Amanda is not particularly strong, yet no demon dares to challenge her or seize her territory. The sheer disgusting nature of her existence is enough to keep others away. She then shifts her attention back to Chen Bai, noticing something peculiar. She points out that, despite all their conversation, he has not taken a single sip of his wine. Chen Bai remains calm and responds with a careful explanation. He states that he dares not drink wine infused with the spiritual power of fallen angel lord. If he did, it would mean certain death. However, in his mind, he reflects on the real reason. The thought of drinking reminds him of a previous experience, one where he died simply from consuming a drink. Knowing this, he has no intention of making the same mistake again. Elmia, still composed, smiles knowingly. She admits that he figured it out. Had he taken even one sip, she could have shattered him into pieces with just a single thought. It is a shame, she adds, because she would have preferred to defeat him without ever standing up. Chen Bai, seeing that she no longer has any tricks left, stands up and prepares for battle. He asks if they should begin the fight. To his surprise, Elmia simply refuses. She has no interest in moving. Her response leaves Chen Bai momentarily speechless. He cannot help but point out that she is extraordinarily lazy, perhaps more than any opponent he has faced before. Elmia, now completely disinterested, simply waves him off and tells him to leave. She announces that she is going to sleep, adding that even separating her projection requires physical energy. Her body begins to dissipate, signaling the end of their encounter. Before she vanishes, she gives one final warning: there are still many strong opponents ahead. Among them, there are 6 beings who hold divine names, making them far more dangerous than anything he has encountered so far. And just as she completely fades away, a notification appears, confirming that the 200th level has been cleared. The system prompts Chen Bai to select his recovery time. Chen Bai processes the new information, his mind racing the possibilities. The mention of 6 true gods holding divine names unsettles him. He selects 1 hour as his recovery time and immediately enters the recovery space where a countdown begins. Sitting on the bed, he takes a moment to reflect. Every true god holds absolute authority over the rules of reality. Facing them will be nothing like the previous battles. His only hope is that their abilities do not include instant death or complete erasure, and as long as he can use the hourglass to go back, he might stand a chance. Even if his opponent is a god, if given enough time, he will definitely find a way to kill him. I hope that you liked today's video, and if you did, hit that like button, as today's goal is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below for the next part. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.